had been lashing against the windshield all evening. The wipers worked frantically, barely keeping the view clear. Jonas had been driving for hours, far from the city, and the mountains around him seemed to close in tighter with every curve in the road. The GPS flickered and froze, then lost signal entirely. On the screen it simply read, "No connection." The road ahead crawled straight into an old stone tunnel, dark as a coffin. There were no streetlights, no other cars, just him. He hesitated for a second before driving in. The sound of rain and wind vanished, as if someone had thrown a heavy blanket over the world. Only the hum of the engine and a faint echo followed him inside. The headlights cast a pale yellow light over damp walls, streaked with tiny rivulets of water. Dust floated in the air, mixed with a metallic scent, like rust and old earth. Halfway through, the car's lights flickered, once, twice, 3 times. When they steadied, a figure was standing in the middle of the road, just 5 meters ahead. Jonas slammed the brakes. The sound of squealing echoed in the hollow darkness. The person wore a long, dark coat, dripping wet. Water ran from the sleeves, pooling on the ground. The face was hidden in shadow, the head tilted slightly forward. Jonas lowered the window a few centimeters. A wave of cold air seeped in. "Are you all right?" he called out. His voice sounded louder than he expected, the echo returning from the tunnel walls with a strange, distorted tone. No answer. The figure began to walk, slowly, step by step. Yet there was no sound of footsteps, only a low, unintelligible whisper, as if the tunnel walls themselves were murmuring in some language he couldn't understand. The hairs on Jonas's neck bristled. He pressed the lock button on the door. The figure stopped by the driver's side and leaned down. Through the narrow gap in the window, a raw, biting cold crept into the car. It smelled of soil. Wet, ancient soil. Jonas couldn't see the face, only the faintest glimmer, like eyes catching the light. Suddenly, the headlights went out completely. Darkness became absolute. He couldn't even see his hands on the wheel. Then he felt it, a cold touch on his shoulder, not from outside, from the back seat. He spun around. The back seat was empty. When he turned forward again, the lights were on, the engine purred steadily, and the tunnel ahead was completely empty. The figure was gone. Jonas floored the accelerator and sped out. His breathing was ragged, and he tried to convince himself it had been some trick of the light. But when he glanced at the rearview mirror, he froze. A wet handprint was pressed against the inside of the rear window.